I'm sure you've tracked this probably at Mendix, but like this is like at least tangentially related to the like planned IT spend of companies, which I'm sure is like probably widely reported in secondary. Like, do you have any color on that? Because if most CEOs or whatever CIOs or CTOs are saying that they're going to increase their budgets by like 3 to 4% every year, and then we're saying that this market is growing at 5x every year, don't those two like potentially conflict a little bit?
So I would look at the base that they're spending on application development today, and that's the headroom that we have to grow. So we are replacing the traditional development methods. So it's not that they're necessarily going to spend dramatically more money in total. It's just that this is going to rapidly take up more and more of the budget that they're spending on custom app dev. That's how I summarize it.
Yeah, it's more of a replacement.
Right, exactly. This is a new way of delivering applications, right? The whole concept of a computer application isn't changing, right? I mean, people are still doing the same sorts of things. This is just a cheaper, faster way to do it. So we are replacing, now today a developer, tomorrow they'll use a low-code platform like we have. It's that simple. So that same developer salary and all that stuff, right, then gets applied to low-code as opposed to what they're doing today. And that's a very significant piece of most IT budgets, right, very large dollars. So that's how I would reconcile IT budgets versus the growth of this. It is disruptive, right? It isn't an established thing at all. So we're taking over.
Okay. My other question, and I know that this is a little far out, but I'd imagine that, people don't really change these systems once they put them in for like 10 years at a time or so. Like, have you thought at all about just replacement cycles and what this might mean like 30, 40 years down the line?
In terms of like whether somebody would replace the platform itself, go a different direction.
Well, I mean, it's like I don't know what the case is for Mendix, so maybe it's like 10% penetrated in the market. Once you reach 50%, things have to naturally decline because people won't be replacing for like a decade at a time.
So a couple things there. One, we're very low today, right? So probably a lot less than 10%.
Sure. I guess it's broader.
And two, like the pricing model. Yeah, the pricing model is not a fixed price thing, so it's not like you just pay, it's not like you tap out at a company when you sell them a license for a given price. It's very much usage-based, and so the more applications that people build, the more the license fee is. The more users that are accessing those applications, the more the license fee is. So even within the same company, right, the use of Mendix will continue to grow as the demand for applications grows. So unless companies stop needing new applications, there's really no ceiling for us, if that makes sense. Like, and it's far easier to do an expansion at an established logo than a new one. So getting to the 50% mark would be amazing because then we're in there, and then we just get a nice little increase every year as they add more applications. So I don't see that as a problem because of, again, the way that our pricing model is structured.
Yeah, okay. And just based off of your experience, on average, once somebody has already installed this, how does spend change over time? Would you say it's like a 5% increase every year, or is it more dramatic than that?
It's very dramatic. There's typically a land and expand type thing. So this is very new, right? So most people don't jump in with both feet. They do, a 6-figure deal to start. They build, say, 3 to 5 applications, which they're limited to by the initial license they have, typically for a 1-year contract. And then at the end of that contract, they're typically moving to 7 or 8 figures after that because they're like, oh my gosh, this actually works. I have 3,000 other apps I need to build. How much does this cost? And just, kind of a shut up and take the money type moment. And so that's the type of pattern that we're seeing.
Okay.
And obviously that won't persist forever, right? Once you make that leap, then the subsequent leaps are going to be a lot smaller, right? But right now, that's where we are.
Yeah, okay. And the last thing I wanted to ask you about is just like what you think about costs in this business. I'm not really a tech person, so it's a little difficult to conceptualize it. Like, what's really driving the cost here, and what would you expect for like OutSystems to have maybe as its actual EBITDA margin? I mean, in my imagination, it's like most of this goes into the upfront actual R&D costs, and then beyond that, you're just licensing